She drowned for 5 hours, but her deeper life father's prayer touched heaven. You won't believe this, but Angela was underwater for 5 whole hours. By all human logic, she should have died, but she didn't, because her father never stopped praying and God never sleeps or slumbers. Angela had always been a quiet girl, born into a conservative, deeper life family. She grew up in a home where prayers began the day, guided every decision, and ended each night. Her father was a district pastor, a man with unwavering faith and deep convictions. Her mother, quiet and supportive, often whispered scriptures into Angela's ears before bedtime. Angela was a first-year medical student in one of Nigeria's federal universities. Bright, focused, and well-raised, she never gave her parents any trouble. But like many young people who leave home for school, she began to feel the subtle pull of peer pressure. She never dressed indecently or did anything outrageous, but she slowly started bending her personal convictions. She stopped attending fellowship as regularly. She began to spend more time with friends who didn't share her faith. And she began to believe the lie that just once wouldn't hurt. It was on a warm Saturday afternoon when Angela's friends invited her to a private estate with a swimming pool. She hesitated at first. She didn't know how to swim, and worse, she had never even worn a swimsuit in her life. But they teased her gently, saying, "Angela, you're in school now. Life's small. No one will judge you." So she went. Back at home, her father was on his knees. That particular Saturday morning, he had been stirred to pray intensely. No dream, no vision, just a heavy burden in his spirit for his daughter. He didn't even know why, he just obeyed. He began to cry out, "Lord, protect Angela wherever she is. I don't know what danger is near her, but you do. Cover her. Preserve her life. I cancel every untimely death. She will not be a victim. She will not be buried young." At the estate, Angela watched her friends laugh and dive into the water. One of them dragged her by the hand, urging her into the shallow end. "It's not deep here," they said. But something unexpected happened. One of the boys, in a playful mood, thought it would be funny to push her farther into the deep end. She screamed, but no one heard. She began to flail her arms, panic setting in, her lungs desperate for air. Then she sank. The music was loud. The laughter was louder. Her friends thought she was joking. Some assumed she had swum to the other side. It wasn't until nearly an hour passed that they realized she was missing. A frantic search began. The pool was scanned. Someone finally suggested they check the water. And there she was, at the bottom, still, lifeless. No one could understand it. She had been in the water for hours. Her body was pulled out and someone screamed, "She's dead." But a strange thing happened. Her chest moved. Just slightly, like a flicker. Someone called an ambulance. She was rushed to the hospital. The doctors were confused. No oxygen for this long? And still breathing? This is not medical, it's a miracle. Angela was unconscious for 3 days. Her lungs were bruised. She was placed on life support. But every hour, her condition stabilized. And then she woke up. When her father entered the hospital room, he didn't speak at first. He just fell to his knees beside her bed and wept. "I almost lost you," he whispered. "I know, Daddy," Angela said weakly. But God didn't let go. She explained that when she was underwater, time had become blurry. But she remembered feeling surrounded, not by darkness, but by warmth, as if someone was holding her, keeping her still. "I couldn't move," she said, "but I wasn't scared. I felt peace." News of the event spread like wildfire across campus and church communities. Everyone was stunned. A girl who had drowned for 5 hours, 5 long hours, was now alive and recovering. Doctors scratched their heads. Science had no answer, but heaven did. Angela's story became a testimony in her school fellowship. At her father's district, it became the center of revival. Young people rededicated their lives. Parents began to intercede for their children with new intensity. Angela herself was never the same. She returned to her roots, stronger, firmer, bolder. She shared her story everywhere she was invited, warning other students about the cost of compromise and the miracle of mercy. And her father? He would often stand before his congregation and say, Brethren, don't joke with the Spirit's prompting. That day, I almost ignored the burden to pray. I could have gone on with my normal Saturday, but the Holy Spirit knew what I didn't. And today I still have my daughter because God never sleeps. He never slumbers. Even when we walk away, God still follows. Even when we fall deep, His hand reaches deeper. Angela was meant to die that day, but heaven rewrote the script. Because of a praying Father, because of a merciful God, because grace still works miracles. She drowned for 5 hours, but her deeper life Father's prayers brought her back.